So they do a studio visit. Okay. It could be also like a one-off time thing where a group of students go to like an artist studio, whatever, right? It can be anything. The goal is the same, which is two people spending time intimately to discuss their practice and their view on life and all these things. And it's just a conversation with a purpose. It has a bit of a directed outcome.
Okay.
So, what did you have any understanding of it before this interview, or
maybe to go and meet an artist or see what the equipments that they have in their studio,
right,
learn something.
And
I think that's what my perception was.
Okay. So, and does the way I described it like change anything about it?
Yeah.
How do you see it now? Like, what do you?
Now it can be more about just two people meeting.
Yeah.
And exchanging ideas.
Exactly. Okay. Nice. Because this is all.
So going into those spaces, be it a studio or any other space that you work in, can be an intimate thing.
Right.
Like if I were to invite somebody to my studio, I guess I would just keep it very straightforward.
Yeah.
Like maybe arrange some time where we can work in the studio together.
Okay.
To get to know like each other's plan certain sessions, like okay, if I'm drawing something or if we're making art together, I think it would be with more purpose than just coming to the studio and seeing it.
So more collaborative.
More collaborative.
Yeah, as opposed to just you explaining what it is that you. Okay. And so I guess maybe that way we can segue into what is it that you do? Like how is it that you expend this energy that you have, and what kind of output is it that you normally what does that look like?
So usually I write, and it can be done anywhere, but I guess my studio, if you say, it would be my room where there's my computer, the things that I love, and a cozy place to sit, or even to sleep, because sometimes it helps me to think if I just sleep. So that would be my studio. But if you're talking about a collaborative visit, it would be phone calls with friends or meeting people and getting ideas, or even watching movies together, experiencing new art together. That inspires me a lot, and then I can come back and create something.
Yeah. So in that vein, would you then describe yourself as an artist?
Yes, it is, but it is a very heavy word in my opinion when you
Why
call
is
yourself.
it a heavy word?
Because then it creates this creates an onus of sorts on you to make something, always be constantly work on that, or have it gets a very high standard attached to it, which hinders my progress a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I don't want expectations attached to my art.
Yeah.
So whatever has been portrayed to me in popular media, or the kind of people that do get respect as an artist, are those people who are extremely productive, make a lot of money also out of their art, or just do art as a living, not something that they are just doing as a hobby. But a lot of times I spend so much time doing art in some or the other way. I'll be journaling, even in my office I'll be using stickers and doing journaling, or I will be drawing something. There's not one day in my life that I'm not making something, but that doesn't mean that it leads to anything that gives me money.
Right.
So that money connotation is always there.
Yeah, understandable. Do you think that it takes someone to be able to expand that I guess hobby into a full-blown career for them to maybe earn that right to call themselves an artist?
Yeah, I think that's what my perception used to be, and although I understand the flaw in that thinking, but that's the only time that you get to really evolve also, that's also the reason why, calling yourself an artist is also dedicating yourself to that craft and being disciplined and trusting yourself.
Yeah.
That's also where that perception is coming from, that this person has taken the time to really learn something and done it with discipline over the years, and stayed in that field, which is something that is so difficult to do. Like, no matter what, they have stayed in that field and then made a living out of it.
Yeah.
So that is also the reason why I attach respect to that word.
Can you describe what you do as your day job?
So I work in corporate social responsibility now, and also in environmental science. And most of my day involves reading a lot of things, making sense of what I read, write reports, making sure that money that is being spent is, there are bills that I need to check, follow-ups with different people like NGOs. So yeah, that's my day job. It's mostly talking to people and writing a lot of emails and reports.
Okay. Do you feel like it still does require you to think creatively or
Yeah.
think out of the box?
Sometimes, like if I'm making presentations, I like to make pretty presentations.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
nice.
will spend a lot of time, maybe more than necessary, to be creative there.
Yeah.
And when sometimes I even teach, so there also I feel like I get to be a little bit creative.
Yeah.
It's not just about putting those lessons in words and delivering. It's also about how can I evoke emotions in my students.
Okay.
Those times I get to be creative. Or even when I'm in a meeting, now that I think about it, I have to think about ways in which the other person will understand what I am trying to say, and that also requires me to think, craft my sentences in a way that is better for them to understand.
Absolutely. It's like almost like performing arts. Like
Ha,
literally
ha,
acting
correct,
a little
correct,
bit,
correct.
committing
We're
to
all
this.
always acting,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Especially at work.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to
100%.
act so much.
Yeah.
So much more.
You cannot be yourself. That's
No,
another.
for
That's
sure.
another. But that's not a positive one. That's
Yeah,
that's a
for sure,
negative
of course.
of being
Performance,
being
yeah.
at work.
Yeah, for sure. That's actually really
Like even
interesting.
to dress up for work, like
Yeah.
I have to
fully.
think so much. Like, is it
Appropriate.
appropriate? Is the makeup, is it too loud? I probably not wear my septum hanging there, or should I wear this perfume? It's so yeah. In those ways, yes, you have to tone yourself down sometimes.
Yeah.
Your personality down sometimes. But that's what that takes out the art
Yeah.
in your day-to-day life.
Well, because it's not.
You don't
actually-
get to express yourself
Yeah.
the
It's
way
like
that you
there's
are.
no space for
You're
that.
still using creative thinking to maneuver through
To
these
this.
spaces
Huh.
and these events,
Huh.
but not in a way
It
that you would
gives you
want.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not in like a
Yeah. Fun way, huh?
like what we traditionally think of artistic.
Huh, huh.
Despite the fact that there is a lot of creativity and like
Yeah, because
thinking.
my art also stems from a lot of empathy. I want to please people. So I see the same kind of line of thinking going when I'm going to the office, that I don't want to make any waves or seem like I stand out. I want to fit in so that people are happy with my work.
Yeah.
So it's the same, I guess.
So then I guess that leads me to then the question of whose work inspires you.
You can think like beyond just what we do for like livelihood, right? Like I think just even zooming out and seeing like maybe then categorizing like what are some artistic practices in your life? Like what do you basically do that gives meaning to you?
That when you told me like what inspires you to keep on working or doing work, or I think it is, if I'm thinking about it, is in the sense of an artist or somebody who puts out their thoughts and processes on a day-to-day basis. There are a lot of, like, there are these, I don't know, like there's this one page called Squat University. Okay, this they just I used to suffer from a lot of knee pain like 2 years ago, and I couldn't walk even like thoda sa bhi I walk, I had to sit down. So at that time was a lot of struggle for me, and I realized that things, my body needs to be taken care of. So that is the time I started reevaluating my like whole day. What do I do? What do I eat? What do I want to do in my life? Do I want to hold on to these perceptions that I can just go on as I'm continuing or don't know what I'm doing? And do I want to live with this kind of pain for the rest of my life? So I started following a lot of fitness influencers, and one of them was Sport University. And I used to be like, every day they will teach you about some part of your muscle. What do you need to work on? Like what positions do you need to work on in your gym? What is the progress that you need to make? So that really I used to keep on trying, and also seeing a lot of my friends like Chaitali, even one of my friends Akshay. They used to go about their day with so much discipline. I used to see they were the two people at that time I used to be talking to a lot, and I used to see that the one thing that is common about them is that they are so dedicated about their physical journey or whatever fitness journey that they have. And I used to be like, okay, it's not that I want to lose weight, but I see them being able to do so many things with their body, and they talk about going to the gym or giving time to themselves and their body in such a romantic way. So I used to be like, okay, I want to do that with my life. That I want to have a schedule in my life, or at least time in my day where I'm spending time with myself. Be it the gym, be it doing yoga, or be it anything. But there's nothing else, just me and my body and feeling things. So I think that has fueled a lot of discipline in my life also. Like it didn't begin like every day I'm going to the gym, but at least yoga karu in the day, in the morning. I have to get up at 6 in the morning no matter what. Like, of course, I had a very strict father. That was another year. But still, even like now, my father has been gone for a year. But still, I find myself waking up at 6 in the morning, going to the gym, or at least taking my cat out for the walk. And also then that translated into other things, that okay, if I'm spending 1 hour for the gym, then I should also enrich my brain. So then I started spending, and this is over several years, I should spend at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes reading. I made it a habit to write something, research something, read something new every day. So that, and also like using my social media and liking things more in a more mindful way, like using LinkedIn in a more mindful way and social media more mindfully, so that the things that come in my feed are more like things that entertain me but also like enrich my brain. If this has happened to me before also, like when I was very depressed, and and it still happens now when I'm extremely depressed, the first thing I go to is art. Like I just try to sit myself down and think about those feelings, marinate those feelings, and then I make something from it. So it's the same with pain. I try to just see what is the root cause of this problem, and then it all just comes into like place. I believe in that it will happen. This was one time that they asked us to make our personality as a mandala. So this was in 2015. We had this gender diversity social transformation ka for a month, and it was a time of a lot of emotional upheaval for me. Because I don't know, we were discussing so much about abuse and gender-based violence, and like they made us. So this is like
a scale like a.
No, this is to kuch aur. This is called the river of life. Where they ask you to write down like events that you feel have affected you, right? Different years of your life. So वो सब लिखा है. But this part is the mandala. So for me, this is like this is the outside, which is very colorful, which I show to people. Like it's very fun to watch. And then there's of course the gray area of the turmoil that is there within. But still, it's like I have made compartments where happy things are kept, and then as you go within, there's like a very dark place which I never let out. So this was like my mandala.
Does it feel like it's building meaning then, like the process of making art is getting you out of that depression by giving your life some purpose or some meaning?
Yeah, I think it gives me a sense of control.
Okay, okay.
Matlab, it's like, okay, I cannot help myself at this point. I can't do anything else. At least let me make something.
Yeah, and I have control over
Control
that thing
over
that I'm making. So true. Oh God,
Right.
so true. Yeah, as a control freak.
Yeah,
myself.
that's why. No,
Yeah.
because I can't control anything else, but I can fucking control this colors.
Yeah, exactly. I can control this fucking color palette. I can make a square or a circle, whatever the fuck I want.
What was the last one I heard? Maybe my face, makeup.
Oh, true.
That's
Yeah, you technically did do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
sometimes
should be
that's
so
also the reason why I like makeup, because I get to see my face. And that's not something that you see very often. Like, you don't, like, people are looking at your face so long, but you barely get to see your face anytime. That's why I like to sit in front of the mirror in the morning and look at my face and, do something to it, like add some colors. Why my mood is reflected in my face. So, I think that is also art.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have so many colorful eyeliners, so much jewelry.
Yeah.
I get to reflect all of that through my makeup.
Yeah, yeah. Something, some feeling that has consistently followed you across, like through your life or through a large chunk of your life that has never fully left and something that you want to see be fulfilled. Like exactly what a burning desire is.
I don't know. I just wanted to be safe. That's the only thing that I can think of. Like, I constantly feel unsafe. That's something, maybe because of my childhood experiences or whatever. Like, I just feel like I want to have safety in terms of money, safety in terms of having my own space, safety in terms of having a community that I can rely on. It's always like on the back of my mind that I because I've felt so unsafe for so long, I just keep on feeling like I want to be safe. Now it can be being safe in a friendship or a relationship, where I would be craving love or whatever. But I just feel like I want to be safe. That's a burning desire.
Yeah.
And that dictates a lot of my relationships. Why I'm saying that is because a lot of my conflicts, the root of my conflicts is from the lack of safety. Like if it's my relationship with my brother, like if he doesn't acknowledge my feelings, or I just feel like, okay, he's not going to take care of me when I get old, or we're not going to be there for each other, and he's very selfish. I can't rely on him. All of that stems from this place of not feeling safe in my relationship with him. And that's something that I try to work on. Like when I lost my father, the first fear I felt was this loss of safety.
Yeah.
Suddenly, because suddenly you don't have the social security of having a father, of going and asking things off of him. So yeah, I think feeling safe is very important to me. Like I want, that's one of my goals, and that's why I work so hard. That I want to be independent and safe,
Yeah.
not feel unsafe about it.
I mean, it's really so simple, but it's like.
Yeah, that's
why
what
complicate
that's
it?
what I've understood. Like when I was talking to all of my friends, and you dial yourself into so many concepts around safety, like from men especially, like losing your father. मेरे को लगा ही नहीं था कि I'll think about being unsafe. That is the most dominant thought that will come to my mind when I lose my father. But that's what it is. Right. So that's, I guess, every day I think about this. And that's another reason why I'll be like getting up and going to work, because no, it's not an option.
Yeah.
I have to work because I have to earn money.
Yeah.
So even though it's not that I'm going to go hungry or I don't have anything at home, but still I feel like I need to have this money so that I'm safe.
But like, what are things that you participate in or you're discovering that like give you feelings of safety now?
So that's what I want to
life?
discover. Like, I don't know. Even with my friends, first of all, like I only started having friends that I could rely on very late in my life. During my early teens, I don't know what I was doing. I don't remember what the fuck I was doing. Now I think back to it, I was not making any meaningful friendships in my school. I have converted them into meaningful friendships now, but they were not tabhi nahi the. I was not sharing my emotions of, maybe because so much turmoil was going on in my house and I had to be quiet about it. If I say it outside, it's shameful. So I spent so much of my time hiding things from people that I never started relying on people. So that's the other alternative, that if I don't have money, then that's what I said, I want a community which I can rely on. Because we are sold this narrative that, get married, you'll have a husband, you'll have kids. But then I feel like, can I rely on those people? That's always a question, because I've seen my mother, she's not able to rely on my father for anything other than money. And money bhi aise denge jaise it's not really yours. So that's why sometimes then that money factor comes. But if I have a community which I can rely on, then I don't need to work so hard on feeling safe.
True. It's just me and this thing that I'm.
Yes. So and that's what would be the end point where I feel ultimately safe, and how it will look like. Like whenever I imagine, क्यों कर रही हूँ मैं ये सब? Why am I working so hard? Wow. Like I could probably go back and live in my house in Kerala. I keep on telling all my friends that that's my end goal. That I want to go and live in that house. Do some farming. I want to write a lot. There are so many things that I want to like. I want to probably write a fucking romance novel. But time ही नहीं मिलता. Like I just want to sit there and just spend my time there being lazy and writing and just that is why I think I'm an artist, because है वो desire मेरे से कि that I want to create something and I want to be connected to the earth and do farming, do agriculture.
We reduced it to that. It's this thing of like magic or whimsy that is there. It kind of relaxes the tension of life.
Correct.
And gives you a sense of peace. And like art is basically that. Like that's why it's whimsy. It's like not just beauty and all. It's kind of funny and like stupid and light and just meaningless in a way. That's why it's so meaningful. Because it releases all the tension of life.
Correct.
So that urge to just seek spaces that like release me from that tension, I think is art.
But that's
artistic.
And now as you were talking, I was just thinking about my mom. Like I know so many people like my mother who don't have any outlet like that.
Exactly.
Okay, so that also makes me think that art is a privilege, right?
Exactly.
Being able to express yourself or finding yourself. Like she's 62 and whenever I talk to her and she's such an intelligent person and it just makes me very sad. Like even now I feel like crying whenever I talk about it. That she's such an intelligent person, but she never gets the time to read or explore. She was plucked out from her culture in Kerala and she's dumped here in Mumbai for the sake of my father and the family. She has no community here. She has no friends here, and the only person that she can rely on is her. And she doesn't have any outlet. And now, whenever now I try to tell her that maybe you should learn an instrument or go out or do yoga or do something to release yourself, because I see so much stress that she has. Like whenever I feel stress, I know I can go and write something, meet friends, go eat something nice.
Literally.
But then she has to rely on me for these kinds of outcomes. It's like she's living her life through me. So that makes me really sad. I don't know what comes out of it, but I was just thinking about that. How much free time and the freedom to choose influences the way that you express yourself in your day-to-day life. In your data, and I feel really happy that I get to have that. I think it's I feel like I am living the life that my mother wanted. It's so much better for me than her. That's what I can take away from the last part of the conversation. And overall also it's like made me question my perception of what art is, what artists are.
It always comes back to mother.
Huh.
All of these things always come back to mom. Yeah.
Freud was, he was trapped in it.
Well, and
It
now
always
it's a
comes
mom
back.
road, obviously. No. Okay. Cool. Yeah, dude. Thank you, Jojo.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you for having me. This was so nice.
Yeah, thank you. Takes time.